Welcome back to 16 News Now. Saturday morning, it is of course time for the weather could be verse, and the Preakness is going on today on NBC. My dad never told me which horse to pick, so it's not a case of paternalism. It comes from my Notre Dame calculus prof who said, "Kid, you should stick with journalism." Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I picked journalism in the Kentucky Derby. He lost by a nose, so I'm going to stick with journalism today. The horse that won the Kentucky Derby, Sovereignty, is not running today, so journalism is once again the odds-on favorite. We'll see if journalism comes through. And in the case of Caroline, she's picking investigative journalism. It's a little deeper. Anyway, let's take a look at downtown South Bend, and you can see these low clouds out there. Every once in a while, though, this camera is pointed generally to the south, and you see the blue sky there? The farther south you go, the clearer it is. So the clouds are mostly from here up north of the state line in Michigan, but heading south down toward Indianapolis, it is quite a bit sunnier. 57 degrees currently here in South Bend, but you notice that it's still very breezy out there. 17-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Those gusts are up around 35 miles an hour at times. It looks like they've slowed down a little bit in Elkhart. You still got the flag sticking out, but not quite standing straight out like they were just a little while ago. So it's 56 degrees there. Yeah, they have decreased a little bit. Sustained winds at 17 miles an hour now, but it's still an occasional gust that'll get up above that quite a bit. And up along the lakeshore, you're kind of seeing a little bit of brighter skies out there. It's not quite as gloomy as it was, but we're still going to see mostly cloudy skies from the state line northward today through the state of Michigan. 54 degrees in St. Joe this morning. They do have a little white cap action out there, so the water's a little rougher, and you have not seen the boat traffic out there this morning that we've seen the last couple of weekends. There you can see that line of clouds, and it does extend south of the Indiana state line, but as the farther south you go, you get down to Kokomo and Indianapolis. It's pretty clear down there, but as for us, we'll see these clouds stick around for most of the day. Zooming in on Michiana, you can kind of see that cloud cover goes down at least to Plymouth, but a little south of that, if you're down in Rochester, for example, or maybe Winnemac, you might have clear skies out there at the moment. We're going to drift a little bit south and show you this line of very heavy thunderstorm activity. This is stretched across Mississippi and Alabama, and this is a nasty line. This is the same line that came through St. Louis yesterday and produced those awful tornadoes with injuries, even some deaths reported. So we're watching this very carefully. Most of the severe threat today will be in this area down through the south and extending over into eastern Texas. Our current temperatures are around 55, 57 degrees. You can see these strong winds coming out of the west right now as we've got low pressure to the north of us. Remember, the wind circulates counterclockwise around a low, so that's what's bringing those westerly winds in. The farther that low gets away, we'll see these winds shift around to the northwest, which will keep us cool for the next few days. Yesterday, though, wow, we really got up there. Goshen, these are recorded at the airport, 55-mile-an-hour wind yesterday. Some of you may have even seen 60-mile-an-hour gusts, and of course, one of the things that happened as these winds were out of the south is it started picking up dirt from the loose fields that have just been plowed. The crops have not sprouted enough to hold the soil in place, and so we ended up with a full-fledged dust storm yesterday from some of these nasty winds. And today, these future track wind gusts are showing 25-mile-an-hour gusts this morning, maybe up to 35, 40-mile-an-hour gusts by 2 o'clock this afternoon. And remember, that's when St. Mary's and Holy Cross commencement ceremonies are going on. Some at the stadium at Notre Dame for today for graduate degrees. Tomorrow, though, is the big day for Notre Dame. And as we go forward, you can see some of these winds will be decreasing overnight tonight and into tomorrow. So tomorrow promises to be a little bit milder day. Take a look at our rain chances over the next 7 days. So you're going to want to run the sprinklers probably, especially by the time we get to Monday, because that will be a little bit on the dry side. But as we take a look at future track here, we'll put this in motion and show you the clouds hanging in there most of the day and then clearing out a little bit as we head through the overnight hours tonight. There's your 10-day forecast. The best chance of rain will be probably the middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Other than that, fairly dry, fairly cool, fairly normal, actually, for this time of year in May.
I'll take it. I like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like the 60s and 70s until we got to the disco era.
There you go. Oh my gosh, that's great. I love that.